and gentlemen, please welcome Stewart. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Shane McGowan's looking well. So, what's that? In air conditioning much louder than it was in the first half. Think that's something you can cope with? What will be a breeze? What will be? What will be a breeze? This. You mean the gig will be a breeze, or this will sound like a breeze? It's confusing using a word that's both a metaphor and a noun, isn't it? I've got an Olivier Award. When I worked at the National Theatre for 2 years, that didn't happen. During my Olivier Award-winning theatre piece, no one came onto the stage during it and turned the air conditioning off. So, one of the great things about how stand-up is delivered is you can address the audience directly, can't you? Bold man there with glasses, bold man there with his hand in his mouth, bold man there with a beard, bold man with a hat on, bold man with glasses, bold man with glasses. The classic Stewart Lee audience there. That we see repeated all over the world, night after night, looking like nothing so much as a group of disappointed sub-postmasters vainly awaiting justice. But the great thing, people love it, you can address the audience, people think that's brilliant. What's that on your t-shirt there, sir? Stone's Throw, what's that? A record label, where's it based?
Yay!
California. In California, what kind of music does it release? Hip-hop music. Is that what you like? You don't. You're going through a midlife crisis. What's that on your t-shirt? Gorewine, cigarette brand. Do you smoke? Not anymore, but you still encourage other people to ruin their own life. What's that on your t-shirt? A picture of a man eating another man's feet was... Is that what it is? Jasmine Bayliss eating a man. Who's Jasmine Bayliss? A stand-up comedian. Why haven't I heard of her? Because she's in Paris. Oh, well, but I'm in Paris as well. Why is she eating a man's feet? You'll ask her next time I see her. It doesn't really... That's bewildering. Well, see... The t-shirt bit normally takes the roof off. We've got a man with a record label no one's heard of, a man recommending something he himself has given up, and a man with an image he's unable to explain, and then this cunt. Do you know what? If you were sitting literally on the stage, you wouldn't be late, would you? A fucking bloke coming on pressing buttons, another guy, oh, excuse me. People love talking to the audience, brilliant. Well, this is sold out, there's empty, there's people not here now. Who's that? Is that someone that's come with you and has gone, or what?
They're upstairs having cigarettes.
They're upstairs having cigarettes. What?
We'll see.
Mosquito au revoir, is that what you said?
We'll see.
What seat is a hospital?
We will see.
We will see. What will we see?
We will see. On va voir. Now, Carol, don't film this. Do you think I want this filmed? Right? Do I want a film of me going down really badly in a hole? Sorry. Put it away, Carol. I don't want this film. I don't want any film of this as shambles. Don't film yourself badly organising a gig. Go and film yourself bringing on someone who doesn't even know they're supposed to be going on stage. Go and film yourself doing 2 introductions, because the first time I hadn't even got my hearing aids in. Where are you? Are you coming on stage as well? No, you sit there. It's not really my job to organise where everyone's sitting. People love interacting with the audience, don't they? It's brilliant. Did anyone come on their own tonight? No, they did in the first half. I was able, in the earlier shows, a number of people come on their own. I was able to do a good bit about that. Never mind. I love talking to the audience. It's great. It's actually a relatively new thing. If you go and see a show now, you expect to be addressed by the people on stage, don't you? Particularly if you choose to sit behind them in a right lane. You expect to be addressed, but it's actually a relatively new thing, talking to the audience. In fact, the first time anyone ever addressed an audience in any form of the arts was, can you get fucking up? Right, lift that up. Right, lift that up. Right. Now, get your feet over the mic cable. Over there. Not just stand up, move to the other side of it. Right, so that's there. Get your feet off the mic. Put your stool down. Not over the mic. And then sit on it. What are you doing? Get your feet off the mic cable. If you're going to sit on the stage, you've got to be aware of what's around you. Oh, shut up, you boring twat. The bloke goes, oh, Richard Herring told me this would happen. It's a guy I haven't worked with this century, who I've not spoken to for 12 years, so I very much doubt he said anything to you. Can you pull that forward? He's shouting at you, so can you sort that out between you? Right. This is the last time I'm doing this. Let's try and have a clear run at it, right? So get off my mic cable. Don't say stupid things to me about people I don't even know, right? You sit down. Stop speaking to me in French, right? It's a relatively new thing talking to the audience. I've invented it tonight. No one had ever spoken to an audience in any form of the arts before 2016. That was the first time that happened. Man, they look very confused by that. It's true. And this is either wrong or it's a setup for a very long routine. It's a setup for a routine which is made considerably longer. No one had spoken to anyone in any form of the arts in the audience before 2000. Don't film me now. Put it away. Give me that. Give me it.
It's a photograph.
Give it me. I don't care.
I have to send it to one of your friends.
Have it back at the end. Don't. Let's get on with it. Leave it. I don't want to be filmed closer. I don't care. I don't want it. So, do you know what stand-up was like before Phoebe Waller-Bridge invented addressing the audience? I do. I remember my first gig. I was 21 years old. I'd done one gig, and I was already thinking outside the box. And if you've been coming to see me these last 35 years or so, you'll know that I've always been regarded as something of an iconoclast, an innovator. And if you're a woman who's been brought here tonight by a man, he will have explained that to you. Yeah, my favourite stand-up actually. It's a guy called Stewart Lee. No, you won't have heard of it because he's not on the kind of shit you watch. Stewart Lee, yeah, he's amazing. I'm not. When you've seen Stewart Lee, you can't really watch other stand-ups. Stewart Lee, no, he's not been on that. He wouldn't go on that. So Stewart Lee, yeah, the first time you see Stewart Lee, you probably won't really understand what's going on. But after about the 15th time, you'll start. Very clever what he does. He often comments on the show as it's going on, sometimes in the character of a different person. No, he's not. He was asked to go on that, but he turned it down. So, Stewart Lee, I'm not even sure that what he does is stand-up, really. It's more like some kind of art, or it's jazz, really. It's like a jazz. Stewart Lee. Stewart Lee. Stewart Lee. Stewart Lee. Stewart Lee, no, that's Lee Mack, it's completely different. It's a clown or something. So, I've got tickets actually from on Wednesday in Chez Georges in Paris, so you should come because as far as I understand the show has been sold out. It's been oversold, it's too full. There'll be people sitting along the back, some of them will be insolent and try to undermine him. People will be taking photos at close range. It's sure to be a difficult gig for him. He may lose his temper and become unfocused. But to me, that's when he's at his best. I actually prefer it. I prefer it when he's struggling and it isn't working. I find it more interesting. And a show at that time of night in such a small room is sure to be problematic. So you should come. You should come along. You don't want to come? Okay, fine. Well, you don't want to do anything. Okay, but is this a bit close to home for you, man? Never a queue for the ladies, is there, at my shows? It's not my fault, right? I try to be inclusive, but the problem is the wives, girlfriends, partners, the women, they don't want to come and see me, right? Because a lot of the men that like me, they're sort of the same as me. So the wives, girlfriends, partners, they don't want to come and see another monotonous, passive-aggressive man. Just sort of waffling on about things. But it's worse. It's worse than at home because it's coming through speakers. And you can't just go, that's very interesting, dear, yes. I've just got to go in the garden actually because I think that hedgehog's fallen in its milk. So I don't think that would work. Good bit that, you should have been laughing at that. That's the second best joke in the show, mate. Got nothing out of you. You're killing this room. As they see me working really hard and they look at you and you're just going, oh, what's this? You're sucking the life. You're killing this. It's the last time doing this. It should have an air of celebration, not of judgment by some bizarre god. So, who's seen me before? Anyone? Yeah. Well, if you've seen me before, you probably noticed this show's a lot more fun than they normally are, isn't it? Because Britain's left the EU. Now, I don't want to get back into all that, Paris. We are where we are. We are where we are. British people knew what they were voting for and suggest otherwise is patronising. Well, it's all very well with your sneering laugh. You're exactly what drove that vote. So, I know there have been a lot of problems with Brexit people didn't see coming. But I think if British people had known it would limit their access to jazz, we might have seen some very different voting patterns. Particularly in a lot of the hardcore leave towns, you know. Lincoln, South Shields, Scunthorpe, they're all big jazz towns. Scunthorpe's like New Orleans or Peterborough, like Paris in the 50s. Haunting melodies drifting from every wrought iron balcony. The thing about me, I'm not really a stand-up comedian, right? I'm more of a sort of literary artist. And I use stand-up comedy as a Trojan horse to deliver literary art to places it's not really wanted, right? Like Paris, really late at night on a Wednesday. People wandering about, whispering to you. Okay, it's a bit we can't do there because normally there's a laugh there because obviously the implication is that I have the same routine and I'm anxious if it changes. It's never not worked before, shame. Whose fault do you think that is? Then he said, if you're going to talk, remember you're literally in front of my face, okay? So just face the front, better still, put your head down between your legs, alright? Then he said, don't put your hand up, you're not at school. Then he said, do you need to go to the toilet? Just go on the floor. Then he said, This is my life, pure, simple, classic. Listen to that. There's no laughs, are there? There's just a strange, tense atmosphere of haunted despair. It's a bit like the kind of atmosphere you might get at the end of an award-winning piece of theatre. But it's not appropriate for the end of a comedy show. We have to end on a laugh. So we will end on a laugh. I've only ever written one decent closing joke, to be fair. I wrote it. Thanks for coming out. It's the last time I'm doing this, and thanks to Carol for putting us on. It's been brilliant to be here for the last time. So hopefully I haven't been able to do it for 20 years because I had shows with massive things in them that wouldn't fit down the stairs. Maybe I will do that. So I'll leave you with a final closing joke. I've only ever written one decent closing joke. I wrote it in September 1989. And I'm going to finish with it tonight without changing any of the now irrelevant personal details. And then I'm going to go. So I was talking to my granddad the other day. He's 94. Yeah, he's dead now, obviously. He was alive when I wrote this. So I was talking to my granddad the other day. He's 94 years old. I said to him, Granddad, you are 94 years old. What, in your experience, has been the worst thing about growing so old? And he said to me, Stu, in my experience, the worst thing about growing so old has been watching all of the friends that I grew up with slowly dying off one by one. And I said to him, well, Grandad, you fed them those berries. Poisonous berries there. Thanks for coming out. Good night.